What's going on, Alabama fans? Ricky Green here for Tide Talk Sports on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. Got a special quick episode for you today. Going to cover recruiting here in the first part of the episode. Then we're going to kick it over to a special guest that we've got joining us that's going to give you his thoughts on the Alabama versus Florida Southeastern Conference Championship game that we are all very, very excited about getting to watch tomorrow at the Mercedes-Benz Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Not going to keep everybody too much longer. The suspense is killing you, I know. We'll start today's episode right now. All right, I want to start off the episode today the same way that we usually always do here on the channel, asking a question for our viewers. Get in the comment section right now and let me know how many more recruits do you think Alabama will add to this stellar 2021 recruiting class, sitting right now at 24 commitments. How many more do you think we'll add come signing day this upcoming February to the 21 class? I'll pin this question down in the comment section so that everybody has a chance to see it and give us their thoughts on this. Can't wait to read and see what you all think about that. Straight into the recruiting section of today's show. This 2021 class, top to bottom, is one of the deepest and most talented recruiting classes that have ever come through Tuscaloosa, Alabama at any point during the Nick Saban era. 5 stars everywhere. When you think about the lowest rated recruit being the Gatorade National Player of the Year for the state of South Carolina, there with Robbie Outs, that's pretty incredible. So, like I said, absolute home run recruiting class by Nick Saban and the staff there at Alabama. But we're not done quite yet. I want to look at one prospect in particular today that we expect to be a part of this class come February, and that is a guy that 247 Sports has ranked as the 14th best offensive guard in the country. If you haven't guessed by now, we're talking about Jaeden Roberts, the big man out of Houston, Texas, North Shore High School, a football powerhouse there in the state of Texas, and a powerhouse of an offensive lineman. This is a kid that was committed to Auburn up until early signing day. We all saw that he decommitted there, and I'm pretty confident in saying at this time that Alabama is the favorite to land this big mauling offensive lineman this upcoming February. Roberts is a guy that will remind a lot of people of a Deontay Brown, even has that mean streak and that toughness that we see in Landon Dickerson this season. So a guy that will definitely compete for a starting spot once he gets to Tuscaloosa, if the Tide do indeed get him to commit and sign this upcoming February, as I expect for him to do right now. Going into signing day, Alabama had basically 22 commitments and expected to see all 22 sign on early signing day. If you watched our early signing day special, we went through all 22 of those guys and talked a little bit about each one and what makes them special. But then Nick Saban decided to just go full on boss mode in his payback, if you will, for Ed Orgeron's disrespectful, ignorant antics that he pulled in Bryant-Denny Stadium last year. Said they were going to kick Alabama's ass in recruiting, and every time they seen us, Nick Saban had a little something to say about that. Went and flipped an elite edge guy in Keanu Coate, which is a guy that I talked about several episodes ago that Alabama fans needed to be watching for. And lo and behold, what happens? Nick Saban goes and flips one of the best edge prospects that Ed Orgeron and LSU had in Keanu Coate. And then he wasn't done there. Absolutely a merry flipmas for everybody on National Signing Day. Flipped Keanu Coate from LSU. And then there, much to everyone's surprise, JoJo Earle, an elite Jalen Waddle type wide receiver who was, if I'm not mistaken, LSU's highest rated receiver prospect, flipped to Alabama as well. That was a big surprise to myself and to many people across the industry. One of the best recruiting classes that I've ever seen, top to bottom, hands down, the 2021 class at the University of Alabama. And like I said a few minutes ago, we're not finished yet. Look for Alabama to sign, if we have room, an elite offensive guard, possibly in Jaeden. Also look for Alabama to go ahead and try to finish with another defensive lineman. We're in the battle for JTT. Y'all thought you were going to get me to try to say his name again, but I told you that only happened once. Too much Northeast Alabama, and this old boy not going to butcher that name today. JTT, the number one prospect in the country. Alabama has a very good shot for him as well, even though Ohio State is currently thought of as being the leader there. Alabama is definitely in the fight. So look to add another couple of prospects in February. Alabama's still in communication with Brian Thomas Jr., the big wide receiver out of Louisiana. Definitely not done for 2021. All right, before we turn the episode over to our special guest and let him give you his thoughts on the upcoming SEC championship game, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, I don't know what you're waiting on. Our channel is growing like wildfire. We've got episodes approaching 20,000 views now, and we plan on just really keeping the content rolling. We're here to bring you all the latest news, whether it's recruiting, Alabama football, Alabama men's and women's basketball. We got you covered on all of it here on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. We want you to hit that subscribe button right now. We want to get to 3,000 subscribers here on our channel, and if you could hit that button for us right this second, we certainly would appreciate it. All right, without any further ado, any more rambling on, I'm going to bring in now the president of Tide Talk Sports and a good friend of mine, Mr. Stacey Blackwood, is going to join us now and give us his thoughts on the SEC championship game tomorrow. Stacey, I really appreciate you joining us today. Take it away, brother.
All right, Bama fans, this is Stacey Blackwood from Tide Talk Sports. Appreciate Ricky having me on the channel today. Just want to talk a little bit about the SEC championship game that will be happening tomorrow in Atlanta, Georgia, between the Florida Gators and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Great matchup, two great offenses. Of course, Mac Jones and Kyle Trask at quarterback for each team both have had incredible seasons. Devontae Smith out wide for Alabama, Kyle Pitts for Florida. Just a great offensive matchup when you look at these two teams. I think the difference to me in the game is the level of defense for Alabama compared to that of Florida. Florida just doesn't have the same type of defense that Alabama has, especially the last few games. Alabama has been excellent on the defensive side of the football, doing a great job of eliminating their opponents' best part of their offense, and I expect Alabama to try to do that with Kyle Pitts. Of course, you're not going to eliminate Pitts. He's an elite talent. He's going to make some plays in the game, and Florida's offense is going to make some plays in the game. But also it's important to note that Florida's offense is really just one-dimensional. They don't really have much of a rushing attack, especially compared to like Alabama. I'm pretty sure that Florida's entire team has less rushing touchdowns than Alabama's second leading touchdown getter on the ground, which is Brian Robinson Jr. So just the difference in the offense is that Alabama is more balanced. They're more of a well-oiled machine when it comes to running the football, and Florida is just not able to establish much on the ground. So Alabama's going to pin their ears back, get after the quarterback, and I believe they're going to force Trask into making a couple of mistakes in the game. And really, in a game like this, especially against Alabama with their potent offense, if you commit a couple turnovers, and the game is pretty much going to be out of reach for your team, even if you have a great offense like Florida does. Another thing to point out is that the pass rush for Alabama has started to really come on strong the last couple weeks. You're starting to see guys like Will Anderson, Chris Allen, Christian Barmore. Those guys make plays in the backfield against opposing quarterbacks, and they've played really great the last couple of weeks, and just really proud of what they've been able to do. And in the back end, you look at guys like Malachi Moore and Brian Branch and Jordan Battle. And, of course, Patrick Surtain Jr. has been locked down all season long. So the defense is coming together at the right time of the year. They're starting to peak at the right time of the year. And of course, Alabama's offense has just been incredible the entire season. And I think this is a game where maybe Devontae Smith can take over the Heisman Trophy. I don't see a way of Florida shutting him down. We may possibly see another touchdown in the return game from Devontae Smith, much like he did against Arkansas last week. So it'll be interesting to see if Florida is going to be willing to punt the ball towards Devontae Smith. Just a great matchup. Like I said, I believe Alabama is just too strong for Florida. I see Alabama kind of doubling Florida up here, score about 48-24 being the final, and maybe Florida getting a late touchdown to make it that 24. Alabama's going to dominate this game, I believe, from start to finish. And just because we dominate doesn't mean that Florida's not going to rack up some yardage or get some points, because they have possibly the best offense just behind Alabama in the entire country. So they're going to get their fair share of yardage. They're going to get some points in this game. But I believe Alabama has enough playmakers on the defensive side of the ball to kind of take over, especially late in that game when Florida's feeling like they got to push the ball, and the pass rush is going to get to Kyle Trask. It's going to force him to commit a couple turnovers, much like he did last week against LSU, which allowed them to hang in the ball game. It's going to be a great matchup. Looking forward to watching it tomorrow night on CBS. Can't wait to see Alabama bring home another SEC championship and then move on to the college football playoff. Ricky, I really appreciate you having me on the channel. You're doing a great job. Roll Tide.
Good stuff, Stacey Blackwood. Like I said, man, really appreciate you joining me here today on the channel and giving our subscribers and Alabama fans all over everywhere a chance to see another part of the Tide Talk Sports team. Hey, lot kind of in a short amount of time today. We realized that. We covered recruiting for you all. We looked at the SEC championship game, and we really, really appreciate each and every one of you that have followed with us so far and have shown us love here on our channel. Once again, I'm Ricky Green for Tide Talk Sports on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. We'll see you next time. Roll Tide.